Good morning, cousins, relatives, nieces, nephews, friends, people who shared a love for my Auntie ARVA. This is Millicent. I am the youngest daughter of Auntie ARVA's younger brother, Wayne. And I'm sitting here in Philo, California, in the Anderson Valley, near Mendocino, or in Mendocino. I came here yesterday and have been just in a really wonderful place to have this moment to process our shared loss and love for Arva. I actually arrived last night and I started listening to Spanish guitar music, which I don't remember ever listening to Spanish guitar music before, but I just did. And then I'm realizing that what inspired me was my Auntie Arva's love of music and of beautiful things like roses and violins and matching place settings and the change of seasons and her family. I am only going to say a few words, so I don't think it's going to be super long, but I'm only going to do it once, and so you're going to have to let it have its way. So Arva, my Auntie Arva, is a source of inspiration and of foundational strength for me, because she was a person that was really probably a second mom, but maybe really the first mom for me, and I think probably for Chuck and Jane as well. As we were growing up, we spent a lot of time over at Auntie Arva's house, and so different from our house. When we would come over to the Mayus, there was order, there was matching furniture, there was food in the refrigerator, clean dishes. It was just really, really organized. And I know that over the years sometimes it's like, well, maybe a little too organized, but I just want to say that it makes sense to me that she was organized because that is what she needed in order to move through this world. She needed to have order and beauty because she grew up in a house that had its origins with alcoholism, and growing up with I know I've heard stories from my dad about how when they were growing up, their house was always full of laughter and love, but also lacking basic needs like bathrooms and food. They grew up moving every 6 months, following the crops, and then later following Red's desire to play music. And when they got to Costa Mesa, they had a stable household, but up until early teens, Arva and Wayne moved a lot. And finding order in a house of chaos is important to be able to move through this world. So what I've always appreciated about Aunt Arva was her courage to create the world that she was important to her. And So just like her mom did, my grandma also was a source of calm and order in a otherwise chaotic world, and I just really appreciate that. I will always cherish the time that me and Chuck and Jane got to spend at Auntie ARVA's house with cousins Mark and Susie. You know, that was our second home, and it was really our sanctuary. I have great memories of the house where there was a swimming pool, and wow, learning how to swim in that pool and doing gymnastics with Susie. We just had so much fun. Every holiday, all the summers, we were so incredibly blessed to have a place to be at Aunt Arva's table and in the backyard and on the couch. I know that my Aunt Arva loved my dad, her little brother, unconditionally. And I want to just say I also appreciated later in life the times that she and I would talk honestly about the challenges and the frustrations that we shared with my dad's alcoholism and not always good choices. But I have found great comfort in the way that she still, continued to love him unconditionally, even when she didn't agree with the choices that he made. And we had lots of deep and meaningful conversations about relationships and moving through this world. And I just want to say I will always appreciate that. She's always been someone that I would hope to emulate. Sometimes I'll say a phrase or do a little walk or a little jig that I recognize comes from her. So I know I channel her often, and I appreciate that. When it comes out, I go, oh, that's just like what my Auntie Arva would say, or just like that would be just like something that my Auntie Arva would do. And those gestures and those phrases also come from our Morris family roots, and so it's a way of channeling those roots and carrying them with me every day. So I'm sorry I can't be there in person with y'all. Chuck and I talked on the day that we found out about her passing, and Chuck's first words were, well, we're going to Colorado. And I was like, well, okay, let's try. But then, within that conversation, we also got to the point where we knew we couldn't. But we trust that that we would if we could. And I know that Auntie Arva understands. So let us hope that we carry a little bit of her, or a lot of her, grace, wit, beauty, and love of all that is beautiful, honest, and courageous. And I wish, and I know she bestows on us all love and peace to have been lucky enough to share a couch with her. Sometimes a little fun and a little laughter and a little emotional, maybe crying at Bonanza, watching Bonanza. Anyway, so I know this was a little longer than I thought it would be, but I am going to just say bye. Love you all. Love Aunt Arva. Bye.